Joel Fleischman Happy Hour Podcast, episode 155. Happy New Year, Joel.
Happy Carbless.
Happy Carbless. Yes, a little teaser. They will be with us on the next episode. So we're getting our warm-up in here right now with some raspberry and black raspberry. So
Wisconsin invented.
Yes, indeed. Yeah,
Can't wait to
in the
learn more about
backyard.
that. Yeah, backyard for sure.
Same. So this is our first episode of 2026, and I'm sure many of you can relate at this time of year. There's a lot of noise out there of what you should be doing, all these different strategies to kick off the new year on the right foot. And I thought it'd be interesting to get in your head, Joel. This is kind of a Q&A format, kind of back to that, of how you approach the new year. And I guess before we dive right into 2026, did you have some time in silence to reflect or think about 2025?
Yeah, it's interesting to do all of that, right?
I know.
It's just life. It's a good time to pause and watch your life fly by, right? So it's good. I think we should all do that. So life is so fleeting.
Well, and so, I feel like I've heard it too.
A great thing to share.
Yeah.
That I've just stuck on the last day or two. Success versus significance.
Ooh, that's good. I like that.
So success, if you chase success, that is very selfish, and it's very much a mirror. Significance is how you can help other people.
Yes.
So strive to be significant. Do not strive for success.
I like that.
An interesting something to ponder.
I like that.
Discern, as
yes,
would say,
for
right?
sure. Well, and actually, I follow another podcast, and she decided to stop after she hit 900 and I think it's 68 episodes. Okay, like a long time coming. Is Jenna Kutcher's podcast, but she, is like, part of me really wants the success of like, I did 1,000. Look at all that I did. But she's like, this feels more aligned. Like, so it was more of alignment versus achievement, and that's what that kind of makes me think of too. Success versus like, how are you actually significantly helping other people? That's
an
really
intention.
Good.
It's interesting. Everything has a season, right? A season turn, right?
Yes.
I always think of that when I say that. But everything has a season, which means everything ends on this earth, at least. Which sometimes it's like you should pick the ending.
Yeah.
Right, of things, which is very hard to do because we want everything to last forever. So it's all fleeting. So choosing intentionally to quit doing something is almost as hard as starting something, isn't it?
Yeah, I would agree with that. And even this time of year too, nature, we've talked a lot about reference that, the great outdoors, it's slowing down. So I feel conflicted sometimes where I'm like, oh, should I be getting excited and like hitting the ground running, or should I be like slowing down, resting, reflecting? I feel there's just like a little like
healthy tension.
Yeah, healthy tension, we'll call it that.
Yeah, and I do think it's hard to pick when to go and when to go do. Yeah, it's hard to do both.
Yeah, and then personally versus professionally too.
Oh, what a challenge!
Right?
And being a mom or being a dad, and family involved, and
for sure.
Yeah.
So we started off this week. Everyone's back fully here in the office, and there's a lot of people that again might be thinking resolution, but you had referenced the book Burn Your Goals.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that book a little bit more for those that haven't read it, and kind of the
Joshua Medcalf.
Yes.
It's an interesting author because he did not have a proofreader for his book.
Oh, okay.
So you will find grammatical mistakes in there, and it's intentional. It just feels. Some people have not liked that book because of that.
Okay.
They can't really get through it.
Yeah.
I loved it because I felt like it was more of a conversation, and it's more how I write. It's more my writing style.
Yeah.
But yeah, the guy essentially lived in a closet at a YMCA, I believe. If I haven't read the book in over a decade, probably. But the moral of the book is burn your goals. Big gaudy title to get you to read it is really what you can control.
Yep.
Because so many times goals in life are out of your control.
Yeah.
And if you hit them, they're almost not fake, but it's like, then what? It's always the journey, not the it's not the destination, it's the journey.
Yes.
So you're so focused on your goal, you'll do anything you can to get it. But what if you don't get it? And was that even in your control? And if you do get it, then what?
Yeah.
So it seems to like always be counterintuitive. So there are things in your life that you can find that help you on the journey that you can't control.
Yeah.
I'm going to lose 20 pounds versus I'm going to eat intentionally much healthier because I will feel better.
Yeah, that's good. Like, and what did you learn along the way too? Because like if you really do focus on the process,
yes,
the journey, there's going to be things that come up that you can
tweak
and keep, and this
and a goal's
that.
written down and it's unwavering, and things come up in life that were so unexpected, and then you didn't hit your goal, and then so are you a failure? Or something that was out of your control helped you get your goal, so then were you a success necessarily?
Yeah. You had talked about, and we had talked about this with the team, of just like trying to set yourself up for success, your future self, like those things that we, like at this point in our lives, we should be surprised that things are going to happen, plot twists are going to happen, hardships are going to happen, things that, you know, we didn't write in our planners are going to happen. How, like, do you personally set yourself up for success, like whether personal or here at Drexel? Some of those things.
Boy, I think focusing on the little things.
Yeah.
I don't think it's, you know, I think probably in my 20s, 30s, 40s, I probably would have answered that different.
Sure.
Now I focus very little on success. I try to focus more like what can I control, what's right on my immediate radar.
Yeah,
and it kind of helps you to relax that way.
Yeah.
And kind of be okay with the outcome.
Yeah.
You know, there was a time, only a few years ago, I think we really predicted like 20% growth, or it was, I forgot what it was, maybe 30% growth. It was very aggressive. And we didn't hit it, you know, but I didn't have a plan to hit it. I was just preaching it. You know, like, we should do it this year. This feels like the year. Let's just motivate ourselves.
Yeah.
Versus really a strategic plan of, but how would you get there, Joel?
Yeah.
Well, working hard and putting our nose to the grindstone. It's like, well, I don't know. That doesn't feel right anymore to me. Maybe in my old age.
Well, I think I've heard this before too. Like, you know, it's okay to change your mind, and because you evolve, we're evolving human beings. Like that's gonna change. And another thing I've heard too is rituals over resolutions. So like sharpening what we already have in place and our habits and our, you know, I think one of the things you had mentioned too of like control what you can control, like let's clean out the inbox. Let's, you know, make sure.
Can I be on time?
Yes.
Can I give up swearing?
Yeah.
Can I bite my tongue? Can I, you know, can I journal? Can I keep an inbox clean? Can I make my bed every morning? Very little stuff. You know, even back to sports that we talk about a lot. I still hearken to someday be a basketball coach. I just read books on it. Maybe I never will be. Maybe I will. But they're enjoyable to me. And one thing in the book called The System that I just love, it's a very fundamental way to coach, teach, and run a basketball program, is it's just there's 5 base. They've ran spreadsheets of like, it was either like 5 or 10,000 games, right? Dumped all this data in. And what they were looking for is what determines if you win or lost that game. What key data? So they found 5 key data points that if you do that over 5 or 10,000 games, you win 99% of the time.
Oh, wow.
So if you could just hit those 5 metrics, right? And it was like, you need to have 32 more possessions. You need to, I can't remember them all, but you can look it up in the system. You need to have this many possessions versus the team's possessions. You need to beat them this much in turnovers. You need to have this many more rebounds. And if you just simply do those, you're going to win.
Yeah.
So you could really take that to a team
for sure
and saying, these 5 things we can control, right? Or at least we have major influence on them.
Yeah.
I can't determine if we're going to miss or make shots. I can't determine how big that team is or tall the team is or how talented that team is. But if we do these 5, we will win almost every time we play.
Almost every time.
And if we don't win, I can go back and say it was because we failed on 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 of these things. So can we take that into, how can you take that into your job? How can you take that into your life? That's why metrics are important, and something that I really didn't know even a few years ago.
Right.
And like, to me, it was always just motivation, culture. That's like, well, there's a formula to give people to say, this will breed success. You know, in manufacturing, if we do this, and have a quality control and produce this much, we will make this much, and then can you just go to those steps?
Yeah, and the compound effect we've talked about that, so you can see that over a year's time or several years.
And the stress goes down. Why aren't we winning? You've heard that, right? From teams. Why aren't the Packers winning? If they could determine the 5 key metrics, you're like, well, it's 20 turnovers.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, is that it? Well, it's not it, but it's one of the things.
Yeah, that's good. So that's the system.
The System.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Huge book.
Yeah, and that's the other thing I kind of hear this time of year too, of books to read. We've talked a lot about books here. You've referenced a lot that you've been reading. I hear like Atomic Habits is always a good one.
I've never been able to get through.
It's long.
It's long, and it got really, and it's a good one to talk about for non-readers or people that struggle a bit reading.
Yeah.
And I love this. If you don't gravitate towards it in the first 50 page, let it go.
Yes, that's
There's so many books out there. Yeah. It's kind of like talking to people. You're not going to be best friends with everybody.
No.
And you may go back and it may be a great book in a year from now.
Yep.
But don't struggle through it.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Enjoy reading. Enjoy reading. It shouldn't be hard.
For sure. And there's so many out there.
So I picked it up like 4 times, Atomic Habits, and I just...
Yeah.
And I get through the first 70 pages, 100 pages, and I'm like, okay, it's all just the same speech to me. But some people love it.
For sure.
I've heard so many good things about it too from people.
And I think again, just coming back to those habits that we were just talking about, those metrics, right? What are some things that you would think are unmeasurable that we walk into Drexel on a Tuesday and we can see our mission is being lived out and it's working, you know?
And I think everything can be measured. You just have to really be creative and challenge yourself. There's a thing called 7-tile, I think, 5-tile from Festival Foods.
Oh,
do you know what that is? 7-tile?
I don't.
But I believe, apologize to anybody that works at Festival, it may not be 7-tile. I think it's 5 or 7 tiles.
Sure.
That they, leaders that come in to check on things, they have to greet you within 7 floor tiles.
Oh, yeah. So I've heard the 10-foot rule.
Yeah.
Acknowledge somebody within 10 feet of you. When you're
and they just said it's tiles.
Okay.
And then they get written up or get coached in or out of the company based on that, right? So
I like that.
To me, so instead of talking to high schoolers and people with their first time job, hey, make sure you say hi to everybody.
Yeah.
Or make say hi to everybody within 10 feet.
Yep.
Say hi to everybody within 7 tiles, right? That's which would be 7 feet probably, or less based on it, whatever that is, right?
Yep,
so
yep.
maybe it was 10 tile. Maybe it was 10 tile. But I think so many more things can be measured, and we just kind of give up because you're like sports.
Yep.
I mean, how many times can you give a high five? Can you pick people up off the ground when they're down? At work, walking into a place, how many people are smiling?
Yep.
When I see them, do they smile? Do they say hi?
Yep.
As a leader, can I measure how? Do you know everybody's names, but do you know everybody's spouse's names?
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. How much do you actually care, and get to know them, and ooh, that's good.
You know how many phone calls do you take a day that are just nuclear bombs that are really hard? Well, that's actually your fault.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you actually smiling when you're on the phone?
Yeah.
Going back to that smile.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's good. I like that a lot.
I think we can measure a lot more things than we think we can.
For sure. Well, and you obviously receive a lot of messages, emails from our customers too, and I feel like that you get to hear a lot of things that you don't get to see too. So that's really lived out. I know you shared one this week that was really, really cool. I was just curious. I think that's a really good reminder for us as the team members, and for those of you that are just out from the outside listening in too. You can really take that and apply it. 7 foot or 10 foot, whatever that looks like. We'll get that in there we'll give Festival the credit. Another thing I kind of heard too, I wanted to touch on. We talk a lot about development, our growth. Whether that's a new team member coming into our organization or somebody that maybe it's a family member that you've connected with, that, is working through, maybe they're reflecting on last year and they're kind of discouraged, maybe doubting themselves, man, I didn't really do what I said I was going to do, or failed this or that. What's something you would tell them, fixed mindset versus a growth mindset? Because I think sometimes when we think self-doubt, it's just well, then I should stop, and maybe that's not for me. I don't know. Yeah,
I mean, realize that it's not... I love this conversation, right? So I think a lot of people do struggle out there in life, and we all do. I do too. Realize I think that's from John Gordon, realize you would never, maybe Max Luxcato, you would never talk to yourself this way. So where's that coming from? It has to come from the devil.
Yeah.
The devil's real. The demons are real. Yeah. And it's not Santa Claus. And they're planting seeds in your head. I don't know how that works or why that would be a real thing, but it seems to be the thing. And you wouldn't talk to yourself that way. So tell it to shut up. Whatever that brain part is, shut up.
Yep.
And if you can't even do that, you can't be blessed and stressed.
Yeah.
That's actually proven. That's a John Gordon thing.
Yep.
I've challenged people that write down your top 10 things you're grateful for. Mm-hmm. I've had people that are really struggling reach out to me, and I've had them do that.
Yeah.
And you know what they come back with? One, they struggle writing it down. They really struggle putting 10 things down. Mm-hmm. And then when they do, they're really big and broad.
Interesting.
And I think I've mentioned at the podcast before, one thing I do when I get doubtful and anxiety and wish my life was maybe a different path, I'll touch my fingers.
Oh yeah, you did mention that.
Because I can touch my fingers.
Yep.
Today I'm breathing. Today I can walk.
Yeah.
I'm not at a funeral today.
Yeah.
God bless both my parents are still alive. I know for a lot of people they aren't.
Yeah.
But I have good neighbors.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can drive to work. I think we forget sometimes I live in 2026.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, we could have been
I heard
born,
that on the radio. Like somebody didn't wake up this year, right?
Yeah. Not only that, but I could have been born in the year 700. That doesn't sound like a hoot to me.
Not so much.
Right? Or early pioneer to 1700s. Yeah. Like their winters were a little different than ours, folks. So we're here.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, right? So your top 10 could be pretty minor. I have a pillow.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've heard that too, like, just get curious too, like, if you are kind of doubting or if you are not sure what your next step is, what your next goal is, where you're headed, like curiosity, right? We've talked about that as a really important characteristic. I was listening to Brendan Bouchard and he had shared an acronym. I love a good acronym. And it was CRAM, like cram for a test, but it's curiosity, like your responsibilities. So like who are you doing this for? Your work, your family, this and that, your ambition to raise that, and then your mastery, which I was like, yes. Like that just goes back to, what we're doing here with our continued development and supporting our team, but like to truly, if you feel like you are just kind of stuck, like engage with it and get curious and,
And I think so many people are now coached to win the day.
Yes.
And some days you're not going to win.
Nope.
And that's okay.
And that's okay. Yeah.
Right. Like
I don't think you have
to win the battle of life. Sometimes we don't need so much Dave Goggins in our life. We need a little more like, you're on the planet, God loves you.
Yeah, for sure.
A mix of both, right? You got to have a purpose, a passion. You got to cram.
Yes.
100% you have to cram at times, but also don't be so obsessed with a cram.
Yes.
That you're just not like, it's okay.
And I think that's where you've shared too about like who you surround yourself with too, like because you're gonna have the people that push you, that are paid to push you.
Yeah.
And then some that just remind you to be like, it's okay to be, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you ever like have any visuals for yourself that you like? Not like total like vision board thing, but like, is there things that you like to look at each day, or that kind of?
Well, you've seen my office.
I do.
So my office.
I have a privilege of seeing that. So for those that don't,
over a dozen of heroes, if you will, almost black and white, maybe heroes, legends, iconic figures. But so I've always been a visual person. I used to be the guy that wrote motivational notes on the mirror in my bathroom in the morning.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Notes on the. Little whiteboard notes. I love little mantras in my head that I repeat all the time, and they're always shifting.
Yep.
Reminders on my phone. I mean, I'm a big, words matter, and I'm a big fan of keeping that like right top of mind.
Yeah.
I love, even sometimes I stumble into something that I was on, if you will, years ago, and I'm like, oh, that was a good one. I remember that time in my life.
Yeah.
And I needed that. I needed that, but that your billboard changes.
It does, as we've talked about here. I've played around with
what's your rhythm on that?
Well,
rules?
I've just experimented with a few different things. So I've tried the vision board but then you try to curate it out of a magazine and try to find what inspires you. But then is that really going to be in front of my face as often? So I've heard more of the screenshots, like getting some visuals and putting it on your phone so you can see it on there. How many times do you touch your phone a day? That's there. And recently it's just like this, just having daily connection with your future, so whether that is, again, a specific goal or something, just having the daily connection with it, I think, is important. And, we've used a lot of mantras here as well.
And I love prayer for that.
Yes.
Repeatable prayers. I keep a rosary in my car. Yeah. And I try to pray the rosary as much as I can on the way in. Just some of those habits.
For sure. And for Drexel specifically, we've been talking a lot about acting like an owner.
Yeah.
Is that kind of the, not officially, but our next kind of mantra, our focus, or kind of what's your thoughts on that?
I would love in the next, as we develop keepers,
yes,
which are really the internal people that take care of the people here.
I
want them to come up with the mantra.
Ooh, good.
Because they're closer to the people that I am. They have the pulse.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yep.
Shout out to everybody at all the locations, at all the offsite places that I never see. And when I mean never, I mean years.
Yeah.
And if I do see you, it's passing.
Yeah.
Every few weeks, every few months, every few years. So the mantra shouldn't come from me anymore. It should come from the team, and our keepers should be closest to the team as they develop. And we have enough keepers, and that team should say, this is what the team needs to hear from us right now.
I like it. Nope, that makes a lot of sense. Industry-wise, this time of year, I'm sure you see a lot of stuff out there of how the industry's changing and what our competition's doing and this and that. How do you kind of filter through that noise and think like, oh, is that actually a problem that we need to solve for the builder, or that's just market noise and we don't need to pay attention to that?
Our industry, I think in my 20s and 30s, I was always, what's the next best thing? What are we missing out on? What do we need to launch?
Yeah.
Now I realize our industry is so stale and so non-changing and so scared of change. And it's okay. I've also realized recently it's okay that we're scared of change as an industry, because we do build structures that people live in and work in. Yep. And if it's not broke and real. Leaking and falling down and causing mold and not falling apart, then why would I change? I totally get that. Like when I think about that, right? Like
for sure.
Why would I change it? These are important things, and if it's reasonably working, why would I switch? So it's an industry that changes so slowly. So it's not something that I'm real concerned about anymore. As far as, oh my gosh, next year, this is going to be in, that's going to be out. Colors,
Sure.
But that you can see with fashion is kind of what happens first in colors.
Yeah.
That one's fairly simple.
Yeah, and do you think, too, because we're so connected to our commitment, who we serve, our builders, our avatars, this and that, like we have a pretty good pulse on that, right?
Oh, I think we have a great pulse on it. I think we're cutting edge in many ways, and I think I challenge a team, we challenge each other to bring new products to the marketplace, and then with the merchant team, and honestly on non-commissioned sales.
Exactly.
Non-commissioned sales, I'm only going to really tried and true, proven recipe. Why am I going to launch a new product to somebody? Because it might not work, or now it's like, no, this is a really true proven product that is new to the marketplace that we can confidently launch with.
For sure.
And it's all about development.
Yeah.
Learning the product too.
Cool. I guess personally, do you have any goals that you've made for yourself? And I know we can talk fitness all day long, but
no, I don't. I think for a long time I was really a one-word guy.
I was going to ask you about that too.
Yeah, I've done one-words. John, shout out to John Gorin, who has a book called The One Word. Okay. John, it's not your best book because you just literally in 3 pages says pick a word, and then you repeat that for 100 pages. Sorry, John, love you, buddy, but
much love.
for real. I mean, I get it. Yes. I think it was his book.
Yeah,
or it's somebody else's book.
In my library
I think it's somebody else's book. Maybe it's not John's.
Yeah. I say yes.
But John also always picks a word, so and he's very big on that. And I think that's great again to focus on one little mantra, one word, keep it small, keep it simple. I've gotten away from that. Sure. It's just not a calling I have anymore.
Yeah.
If I had it this year, I think my one word probably would be significance.
Yeah, that's good.
How can I help people more? How can I make more of an influence? How can I make it?
I like that.
I love this. This is from Father Strand, so shout out to Father Strand. Okay. He must increase, I must decrease, and he must increase. And I believe that's a Bible quote. Okay. I think. Which again simply means I must decrease so he can increase, which we're talking about Jesus, right? So, how can I make, and that's to me being more significant. Yeah. How can it be less about Joel and more about helping people and more about God? And that would be something I guess I'm striving for this year. I don't have anything particular that I'm, really, really like. Yeah. I want to get this done.
Yes, I know. So. And I feel like we've said, it can feel really overwhelming and be like, I don't want to be locked into just one word or one thing. Yeah. And even this week,
did you pick a word?
I don't have one for the whole year.
Okay.
I actually I have like a morning mindset that like gives you like auto-generated prompts, and it just says like, if you had to pick one word of how you wanted to show up today, what would that be, kind of, and why? And I shared this in one of our tacticals. It was like one of our segues, and I just picked the word intent, or like intentional, because I had something that was like real. I had it in the calendar, and I'm like, I just need to stay on that. And like, if I get distracted, if I get a call, if somebody pops in my office and says something, I just need to be like, okay, what is my intent right now? And just come back to it.
And I really, I mean, this is probably 6-7 years ago, and how the company's evolved and I've evolved is we really had like meetings of nothingness when I look back on it, and it really was to pick your one word as a company. So everyone got a rock even one year, and you had to put your one word on the rock.
Okay,
so you like go back to your rock for your desk, and you know, I probably wouldn't do that anymore. It was like more forcing what I believed in onto other people, but it was a start, I guess, of something. It wasn't horrible. But
I think sometimes you just gotta experiment and see if it works for you too, because there, like you said, there are those people that pick one word and every year and it does work for them.
I literally I remember I had my blog for years, and I would go back to the blog of the one word, and every year I would add to that blog. And it was just always interesting of the new word.
Do you have any fun events or adventures on your calendar, or things that you are looking forward
Nick Whitty,
to?
shout out to Nick Whitty, and him and I are going to go antelope hunting in Wyoming this fall.
Cool.
So way outside my comfort zone.
Okay.
I think I've explained here, I don't really have a lot of hobbies. You might think I'm a hunter and fisherman, because I do that quite often. I love being outdoors. So way outside my comfort zone. Not a great traveler, but that is definitely something I'm, one, looking forward to. Two, it's a little bit outside my comfort zone.
I've never been there.
Expanding the bee farm this year. So St. Ambrose Bee Farm, we are expanding that. Nick, again, also Nick Whitty, shout out to him again.
And he and his dad will be on in the spring.
Very cool.
So he is committed to that. Yes.
So expanding the bee farm, which is a funny thing, because it's not that big a deal. We're getting a puppy in my life, so Micah's coming home to us mid-February. That'll be a big thing. And then my son Jackson, shout out to him, is going for a second interview to be a fly fishing guide in Alaska.
Oh, wow.
So if he does that, Pops will be coming to see him.
For sure.
So that's probably the ones that I...
good prayer and positive energy his way for that.
Les.
Have you been to Alaska?
No.
Okay.
No.
People that I know have gone have loved it. So that's really cool.
Yeah, my sister that passed away, Krista, in her 20s, for her 30th birthday, she always said, because she was born June 30th, we were going to go there for the summer solstice.
Oh, wow.
Over that time.
And, very cool. And Jackson started the fishing club, right?
Yeah,
so
in
this
Oshkosh,
is a true passion of his.
Oh, yeah.
Passion and talent. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
he likes
great.
to fish.
Very cool. Well, an exciting year ahead. Like we said, we have Carbless coming on. We got some manufacturers that are coming onto the podcast.
Yeah.
So, and of course, our builders and our team as we continue to move forward. So, really excited about that. Joel?
I hope we can hope our podcast can be significant.
Yes, significant. There we go. Oh, that'll be our billboard message right there for today.
There you go.
Sound good? Cheers.
Peace and love.
Thanks.